When you have to travel with your executive, you have to forward think everything you're going to need for your executive and for yourself. So in today's video, I'm going to share some best practices to secure the most important information your executive will need and information you probably didn't think about. So stay tuned to be absolutely ready for your travel with your executive. Hey guys, this is Cherie from The Exceptional Assistant, and my channel is all about the day-to-day responsibilities and scenarios of the professional assistant. So whether you're an executive assistant today, looking for new tips and tricks, or you're new to the administrative role, this channel will be a great source of information for you. I've worked for executive level leaders within the largest corporations in America, from the gaming industry, the banking industry, and the movie entertainment industry. I've had some of the greatest executive mentors throughout the years, and this is my platform to share what I know. Now let's get to the video. Business travel sometimes can be exciting if you're going to a location you've never visited before, even if it's on business travel. But don't lose sight of the important information you should have with you before you jump on your flight. When you travel with your executive, you have to have a plan of what you're going to need for your executive and for yourself. So here are important information items you should have with you. The most important is the document that lists the entire travel itinerary for your executive and for yourself. Your travel itinerary should include the date of your travel, your airline carrier, the confirmation number, the flight number, your seat number, the time the flight departs, your layover destination and the duration of the layover, and your time of arrival. You should have the exact same information for your return flight. Both you and your executive should have an electronic version of the itinerary and also a hard copy of this information with you as you're traveling. When you're at the airport, your executive probably has access to the VIP lounge. It's a good idea to find out ahead of time if your executive can bring a guest in or if they'll be required to pay your entrance. It's a place to have food at no cost, and the seating is so much better in there. It's also very important that you have your travel agency's phone number just in case of an emergency. For those what-if situations, always look ahead if the airports you're stopping at offer sleeping pods. Sometimes they're called nap pods or nap cabs, because if an emergency does present itself, such as a severe flight delay or a flight cancellation and the next flight is many hours away, you'll have an option to purchase one of these sleeping pods for a specific amount of hours to rest and to sleep. The sleeping pods come in different sizes and they have compartments for your luggage, they have power outlets to charge your electronics, and they have Wi-Fi service within them. Your travel itinerary should also include your hotel reservation information, such as the name of the hotel, the confirmation number, and the address and phone number. In addition, you'll need to add your transportation reservation, like your rental car or shuttle service information for pickup and drop-off locations. If you're taking a train or a subway, you should know where these locations are ahead of time, and it's a good idea to purchase the tickets online before you travel. It'll save you a lot of time. You should also have the meeting location information on your itinerary, which is the address to the site location, the name of the reserved conference room, and how to locate that room so you and your executive aren't walking around in circles. Also, if your meeting location is inside of a large campus, it's a good idea to find out ahead of time where you should park if you have a rental car. You'll need to find out if the parking is paid parking or if it'll be validated. So that wraps up what you should have for your itinerary for you and for your executive. Now for the meeting location. If you and your executive are traveling to a secured building location, make sure that you have the appropriate access to enter the building through a permanent badge or a temporary badge. The access should reflect not only the main entrance, but common areas and any rooms with a business purpose that you both will need to enter. You should have reserved a working space for your executive at the meeting location site. With business travel, you most likely will be at the location for a day or two, and your executive may want to start early to prepare for the meetings or stay late to prepare for the next day meetings. In addition, the working space also gives your executive the opportunity to step out of the meetings for specific calls that may be critical and sensitive. It gives them the space to speak freely without anybody hearing their conversation. If you're traveling for one of your executive leadership meetings, then you'll need to think ahead of what the reserved conference room is going to need. You can purchase items through your company's supply vendor and have them ship the items to the meeting location site. But if your vendor doesn't ship to the state that you're traveling to, I would send the supplies myself to the site location. Another great idea to save some money is you can check with the site admin to see if they already have some of those items that you need for the meeting. Off the top of my head, these are the supplies that come to my mind of what you may need. A presenter clicker, a whiteboard or flip chart with colored markers, definitely the post-it note wall pads. These are great when your executive and their participants are collaborating and building ideas. Also, writing pads and pens for all the participants because that is something easy to forget to pack. You may want to also locate where the closest printer is from the conference room. You and your participants may need to print a document, so it's always wise to know where the closest printer is located at and what the printer name is. The site admin can help direct you here. Also take consideration that your workday does not end when the meeting ends. If your executive has dinner reservations, you will need to attend that as well. But before you head out to dinner, you'll need to collect and secure your laptop and any confidential documents that were left in the room by the participants. It's a good idea to call the restaurant one last time at your lunch hour to make sure the restaurant doesn't have any questions or there isn't any issues that need to be addressed before your executive and the participants arrive for dinner. Now let's talk about your laptop that you're going to be taking with you. If you're checking in your luggage, do not put your laptop in your luggage. You have to have the laptop with you. The chances of the laptop being stolen in your luggage is very high, even if you have a lock on your luggage. And now that I mentioned the lock, make sure that you have an approved TSA lock on your luggage, because if you don't, TSA will cut it off. To make my life easier during travel, I have a computer bag with rollers, so it's super simple and very convenient. Another reason to carry your laptop with you is that most likely you'll be carrying the documents and PowerPoint presentations within your laptop. And this is a great opportunity if changes need to be made at the last minute. You can work on those changes at the airport or on the plane, and even though you have all the documents for the meeting, you have to anticipate the what ifs. What if there's a building power outage? What if there's an issue with Wi-Fi service? Or even worse, what if something happens to your laptop? You have to have a plan B in place. What I do is I make hard copies of the documents and PowerPoint presentations for all the participants, and I overnight them to the site location. I will also include additional USB cords, power cords, and other cords my executive may have forgotten. I'll check the tracking number to make sure that the package arrived at the meeting location and that the site admin has the package in their possession. This way, if there is a what if, my executive has their information to continue their meeting with no time lost, and time can be incredibly important if there are many items on the agenda to cover. You may be thinking, I can just send the copies of the documents and PowerPoint presentation to the site admin by email. I'll point out some issues with that. 1, what if the admin falls ill and doesn't show up for work and didn't print the copies for you? And what if the building power outage lasts for many hours? And more importantly, there may be confidential and sensitive information in the document or PowerPoint presentation that is only meant to be viewed by specific individuals. And for you specifically, it's super important to know if your executive is checking in luggage. Why? Because if they're not, that means that they're only going to do a carry-on to get in and out of the plane quickly. So if you're going to check your luggage in, your executive now has to wait for your luggage to come out of the carousel. You need to make things easy for your executives since you're traveling with them. So if they're doing a carry-on, so should you. This will alleviate any unnecessary time wasted for your executive. You're probably thinking that you can't do a carry-on with all the stuff that you need to take. I'll tell you that you can. Here are a couple of tips I'm going to share with you. First, you're already bringing your roller bag with your laptop in it, and most likely you have other compartments inside the bag for computer accessories. Since you're overnighting those accessories in your overnight package to the site location, take advantage of that space. Put your hair products, makeup, and any other small items in there. You don't have to take your blow dryer either, since most hotels already have that. Roll your clothes in your carry-on, and that'll save you tons of space, and you can iron them when you're inside your hotel room. Another great tip is ditch the computer bag with the rollers and get a backpack where you can add your laptop and all those items I just mentioned. Plus, you can add so much more in there. Here's another reminder for you. When you're traveling with your executive, and most likely you're already on the clock being paid by your company, You have to maintain the professional appearance. So don't go to the airport wearing sweats, ripped jeans, and flip-flops. Be casual and comfortable, of course, but keep it professional looking. Also, make sure you have everything you need for yourself. Make a list of items you need to pack and check off as you go so you don't forget important items like medications you have to take. If you want to take a snooze on the plane, take a mini travel pillow. I bought one on Amazon that rolls up and I put it in my backpack, and it's really convenient. The airlines normally provide you with a pillow, but how can you be absolutely sure that it's been cleaned properly? And in the age of COVID, it wouldn't hurt either if you took a small package of antibacterial wipes to wipe down the seat area and the tray. You don't know who was sitting in the seat before you. Before you leave on your flight, it's a good idea to give a family member a copy of your itinerary in case of a family emergency. They'll know when you'll be landing. So those are my recommendations of what you should have with you during your business travel and what you should have prepared ahead of time for your executive and for yourself. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. And if you have a great tip to share, leave it in the comments. Thanks everybody for watching. Take care.